Coming in just high or just shy of the 5,100 pound mark, a J-Flight 236TH little compact toy hauler here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This is an awesome new addition to Jayco's lineup. It borrows, I think, very heavily. Borrowing is probably being generous. It borrows very heavily, though, from the 22RR Grey Wolf by Cherokee that we also have here at Haylett's. And I'm not disappointed by that. I like it whenever we have things like A-B options. I like a couple different solutions for people. And there's something about this one. I don't know what it is. It has just a beefy feeling to it. Everything in this feels very strong and bulky and solid. It doesn't have any sort of lightweight feel because, I mean, when you look at a trailer in this class, a lot of times you think, a little simpler, a little less expensive, maybe a little thinner in some places. Not this one. But that's a normal thing with J-Flight. Carrying things like the same warranty, the same roof construction, the same Goodyear tires as their full-time RVing fifth wheels. This one is just built bad to the bone, and frankly, I don't even know if you need toys. I don't think you even need motorcycles or golf carts to enjoy this one. Maybe some kayaks or bicycles or something. But if you took the ramp door out of the equation, it's just a good couples camper. It just gives you the opportunity to expand your living space out here onto the patio and enjoy something like a mobile 3 seasons room kind of situation, or you can just slap the door shut. And what's cool is, in a way, it's a really cool alternative to a 212 J-Flight. Instead of a sofa and a dinette, you've got that mega sofa toy hauler kind of style dinette, which can sleep people, seat people. It can do everything. Now, this is definitely technically a toy hauler. It has, the ramp door, it has the flip-up kind of seating, it has open garage loading space, it has all the things that qualify as a toy hauler. But this one's a little bit different in size. This is an 8-foot wide body, and although it is a little bit taller than some other things in this class, it's 6'9" inside instead of 6'6", which actually can open up the opportunity for some things like golf carts that you can't always get in a camper like this. It's not exactly the same as like a full-on toy hauler, like a wolf pack that you'd find here at Haylett RV. I call this a crossover. It can do a lot of different things. The flexibility of this floor plan is like unparalleled. So I've got a whole bunch of little clips here. Like, you see that this can fold down into like a dining table and like 4 adult seating space. The table can get up out of the way. It's totally free floating. You can use it outside. You can use it on the patio deck. You can use it wherever you want. The twin benches can fold down into sleepers, but what's interesting is how Jayco left a space to walk between them. And then, of course, we have the space like you're seeing right here where you can walk through this thing completely unimpeded or load your stuff into it. Now, what you load into it could vary quite a bit. We've got 6 heavy-duty tie-downs here in the floor. They're using the same 5,000-pound rated pull-tested tie-downs here that they use up in a seismic luxury fifth-wheel toy hauler. A lot of campers in this class have a 2,500-pound rated D-ring, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's plenty. But this is the definition, I think, of Jayco doing Jayco things. They're always a little bit heavier duty, a little bit beefier. That does sometimes mean they're a couple pounds more. They're a couple dollars more. There's reasons for it, though, not everybody's looking for that giant seismic fifth wheel toy hauler, There's a lot of people like, look, I just want to take like my bike or my kayaks or my e-bike or my dog kennels or something out for a weekend. I don't want to have to spend $90,000 to do it, but I want something that's going to hold up long term. I want something I can use hard, and I know it's going to be there for me. That is exactly where I think this one comes into play. And again, the flexibility here is so fantastic. There's not much you can't do with this one, really. Case in point, you want to use the benches individually, you can, and it's all like one mechanical folding, basically jackknife sofa that flips up against the wall. There are some manufacturers, and we carry them here at Haylett RV, that have like free-floating cushions. Now, the cushions are nice because you can get them out of the way if need be. You can basically fold stuff up and get a little more interior loading width. There's some benefit to it, but then you got to find a place to put the cushions. So neither idea is necessarily better than the other. They just have different benefits, and that's a recurring trend that you get a lot here at Haylett RV. We try to shoot you straight. We try to show where each RV has its own little shining points, and then it's just a matter of finding out which one kind of merges up with what you're looking for the best, Now, Now, in such a small space, naturally you have to get really creative with storage. And overall, I think they did a good job here. And I love that they even left us a spot for a wastebasket. But plywood drawers, not particle board, you know? It's that better kind of longer lasting construction you can depend on in a Jayco, like the sealed edge kitchen counters. A lot of campers have those now, but not everybody. And this little corner cubby over here, that is a tricky spot for me to try to get with a still camera, but I wanted to make sure you folks saw all that. All the cabinetry, like all Jayco travel trailers and fifth wheels, is all pocket screwed, by the way. And what they did over here, I think, is smart. This is a really smart Pantry Entertainment combo space. Some serious shelf space. Those are about 9 inches deep, so you can actually get some very legitimate storage in there. The DVD unit over there, well, first of all, it is DVD. It's not just stereo. It's not just Bluetooth. Those things are great, but they're giving you a little bit better entertainment system here, and they are also including HDMI wiring. Now, this is what's kind of neat about this one. The location of the entertainment center on this one is pretty darn good. If you sit down on the bench where I've got this one folded, you're basically right across from the TV. Now, this is a wood-studded trailer, so roughly every 16 inches on center, there's a stud in that wall. So you get yourself a stud finder, hold it up to your chest to calibrate, go, yup, there's one, and then you put it on the wall. After you recalibrate it. And you can find where there's a stud in there. And I would put, if I was interested in a TV in this camper, a nice swing out TV mount. And I bet you could probably squeeze a 40-inch TV up there if you were so inclined. Now over here, normally you'd have a 6 cubic foot two-way gas electric absorption fridge. Pretty handy for off-grid camping. But what we're looking at here today is an 8.7 cubic foot 12 volt DC compressor fridge upgrade. They draw very little power. If you have a couple batteries, if you have a simple solar package, a portable generator, frankly, all of which, some of which, any of which you'd probably have if you're a serious boondock camper anyway, that will already be more than enough to compensate for the power draw on this so that you're not going to like lose your stuff. Another thing I really want to point out here, because I think this is a really important factor that a lot of people miss, not only just the 3-inch taller ceiling for the loading space, the extra cargo space, but the fact that we are getting centralized air conditioning in this little camper. That is something that you don't always find in a no-slide, simpler series toy hauler like this. Sometimes it's optional. Some brands don't do it at all. Jayco only does it standard. Now, one of the other really great qualities about the way they executed this layout is if you look at where the D-rings kind of stop, that's probably where your cargo loading stuff is going to stop. So, when you're traveling, it doesn't matter if you've got stuff, toys, kayaks, dog kennels, whatever in the back here. You can get to your sink. You can get to your microwave, you can get to your cabinetry, your refrigerator, your bedroom, and your bathroom. This RV has a very good amount of accessibility even when cargo loaded, which is a tricky thing for some no-slide toy hauler travel trailers. Now, you've got a dual-entry bed and bath right next to the main door, so it's easy come, easy go. Very handy if you got dirt on your boots, and you notice it is all carpetless. It is all easy cleaning, so that is a real handy factor in this one. I think if I was going to change one thing, I always try to find something I would point out to maybe kind of bring to a designer's attention a little bit. Not that I'm anyone special, just things I look for. Someone who's done this a long time in camp. I feel like it needs some towel hooks on the walls right there. You know, if you guys appreciate that kind of fair assessment, you know, looking at stuff and even saying, hey, I think a little bit of improvement here could be done. If you agree with me or if you just appreciate it, hit the like button, leave us some comments. Let us know how you appreciate our efforts here at Haylett RV. Now, the legroom here, I'm not going to tell you, you know, this is some big fancy garage mahal, but I had enough legroom, and I'm a tall guy with long, spindly legs. I got chicken legs. And I was fine. Similarly, I could stand in here. And I could crow like a chicken if I felt like it. I don't know where I thought I was going with that. All I know is that it went absolutely nowhere. Right now, if my wife was laughing at or watching this, she'd be laughing going, you're such an idiot. And she's right. She's right. I love her because she's right. She tells me so. Now, that TV bracket we're looking at here in the bedroom, that is a quick release mount. It doesn't come with a TV, but if you want to dislodge that and then mount the TV outside, it has a matching bracket outdoors. And this is a really cool thing. All Jayco travel trailers and fifth wheels have standard roof solar prep. And that is where you would locate a charge controller should you go ahead and wire some panels into the roof of this thing. That right there is something most builders in this class do not offer. And those that do, you only get any kind of roof prep plugging if you go ahead and add a solar package of some sort. And Jayco gives you the option to go either way, but they always make sure you're prepped and ready here. Wide open side stand so you don't feel like you're sleeping in a coffin. That being said, I think it's time for like an Addams Family reboot. Don't you guys think? The sleeping in the coffins and all that. Isn't it weird, by the way, that they were like supposed to be the creepiest anti-family? But in a way, they were like the model of a good family because they just really cared for each other. Wow, how I got way off topic. Okay, let me try to reel myself back in. Let me see if I can get my gloves up in here. Pleated nightshades, blackout shades on all the windows, and I like that they do that in the bedroom as well. Of course, I didn't pull that down even remotely straight. Good Lord, I'm batting 1,000 today, guys, on the Addams Family scale. And notice how all the windows are fully framed out. Even here on an SLX, Jayco's doing that, and it gives those string mounts for those shades something really nice to bite into. I think it makes a huge difference. I am missing something. Storage! Oh, yeah, you probably want to see that, don't you? So first of all, a little unconventional. This is not a hanging closet. That is actually designed to be a dresser space. Although, naturally, you do still want some hanging storage. So they kind of split the difference. It's a little unconventional, but it works because you do have limited storage in here. So you have a place to hang some stuff. You have a place to fold some stuff. And then you got a place to stuff some stuff. With a big, easy lift, full under-bed stuff storage space, which is the entire name of it. You have to say the whole thing or don't talk about it at all. Them's the rules. Also, little RV pro tip for you. This folding, floating table here, if you can leave one of the benches down in transit, an easy place to keep that is you just basically shove it in between the cushions right there. Just shove it. Give it a good shove. The other thing you can do is lift up the mattress in the bedroom and slide it under the mattress, and that'll keep it from bouncing around and banging into everything. Or you can just shove it. By the way, this one has here these little things called puppy savers, so that you got yourself your little fluffy Pomeranian running around. It doesn't jump between the ramp patio party deck and flop out of the trailer and go running into Timbuktu, because that is never what anyone is looking for when they're camping, no sir. Now, one of the cool things here is this is the SLX series, but again, all the important factors are there. An easy tilt power awning with LED lighting? Check. Power tongue jack, a hard shell cover for the dual propane tanks, and an auto regulator. Check. And the normal integrated A-frame chassis that you get on all the J-Flights, which is one of the things that gives them that little bit taller 6'9" interior without really being any taller outside. Double, triple, quadruple check. The roof on this has the same Magnum truss roof system as all the other Jaycos, which is probably why it does weigh a little bit more than some other similar things in this class, but it is slightly bigger, and again, slightly heavier constructed in certain areas. There are some people who actually argue J-Flights are overbuilt for their class, but I think there's quite a few people who will also argue there's no such thing. Now, I want to give you a look at the underbed storage here, but I specifically wanted to do it here on the door side, because as you can see, no, I'm sorry, the driver's side, because it's a full, true pass-through compartment. That is such an easy factor to overlook right there, because a lot of manufacturers of a floor plan like this, they have to find a spot to standardize where the water heater is located. Now, Jayco did that kind of hiding behind some of the kitchen cabinets. They did a good job of it. And that allows them to keep the water heater more centrally located, which means it'll get hot water to your fixtures faster without wasting less water. But also, it increases your outside storage capacity. It's just a really smart way that they figured their way around this. That does mean that they have to re-engineer every trailer a little bit differently versus standardizing it, and that does add a couple dollars to things. Those are some of those really hidden behind-the-scenes differences you may not realize, and that's the kind of information we get for you here at Haylitz. Black tank flush and outside camp shower. Those are two features very rarely found at a smarter class camping segment and price point, and their location could not be better, right next to all of our other water hookup stuff, including the sewer water hookup. Now, another thing you don't usually get at this class, Cherokee does a great job of this though, is a gas and electric auto ignition fast recharge water heater. Those are three things that not everybody has at this segment and at this price point. What that means in English is more hot water, faster, and easier, which isn't that what everyone's looking for? And I don't know if anybody else doing this here. Best in class Goodyear 87 mile an hour rated endurance radials, American made. And if we get down here a little bit, we can see a little kind of silver shield, a silver lining. I hope you never have a flat tire. God forbid you do. Hopefully it won't bash up the interior of your trailer, because that big belted radial, if it gives up the ghost, it's gonna do some damage. So they put a little kind of armor shield above that there to try to keep that under control. God forbid it does happen. Hope it doesn't. If it does, I want you protected. Speaking of which, we optioned on, I added a little extra protection to the belly of this one by enclosing the underbelly. Keeps it a little more protected from things like, flung debris and whatnot, because there's nothing like finding that you accidentally cut a water line because a stone went flying in transit or anything like that. Now you just don't have to worry about it, The ramp patio party deck added to the back here really can expand your living space as needed. But frankly, it's especially nice in the mornings. Like, if you're parked on a space that has like, a little bit of dirt, you don't want to track mud everywhere. It's nice to be able to go outside and get some fresh air without tracking it through the whole trailer. Or in the morning, if you're parked on grass and everything is wet and dewy, like Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Actually, I don't think that's where Huey, Dewey, and Louie's names come from. Scratch that. I'm going to back up on that. Anyway, you get the idea. Something we didn't talk about inside is, you see right here, you have a roll down screen wall on the back. Now it has a zipper up the middle, so if you do want to be able to pass in and out, I've got it opened up right now so you can see that. But it's actually kind of slick how it works. It just rolls up when you don't want it, and it magnets to the sidewalls so that, you don't have the wind whipping it around and slapping you in the face. Nothing like sitting there trying to drink a iced tea and you got this curtain smacking you in the face. I like the step on the back here. That is something that in this class I just don't normally see. Like, I find stuff like that on a full-on wolf pack all the time. A full, big, true toy hauler. Whereas I call this more of a crossover. It's not as wide, it's not as tall, it's also not as heavy or expensive. It is ideal for those half-ton tower and goers. But you don't normally find those upgrade big, almost pseudo fifth wheel features like those stable steps on the back on a trailer like this one. I wanted to take a moment to fold everything back up and get it back out of the way. Hope you guys appreciate the fact it takes a long time to go messing with these things to put all this little footage for you together. But they're using positive cam locks right here. And what that means is that first of all, you have a key lock for it, and it's going to use the same key-like system as the rest of the RV. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But even if you don't lock it, the positive latch system will try to basically hold itself shut. So better security, more peace of mind. Double flood load lighting, and you can see we are also backup camera ready. Couple other little detail factors for you, like you have yourself an outside TV hookup station here above the tire area. Now remember that floating folding leg table that we saw earlier? It would go very nicely in this space if you did want to use it outdoors for patio time, although you could use it in between the benches or on the patio deck as well. Now this is another optional thing that we like to apply to these. The stable steps here for more ride with the individually adjust quick release kind of legs. It makes it so that you can always get merged up to a campsite without having a lot of herky-jerkiness. Also, a very underrated set of features right here. The key-like system and the Jsmart lighting package. First of all, key-like is great because you only need one key for that door, deadbolt, and all of these baggage doors right here. That's something that most trailers just do not offer, and it just adds to the idea of ease and simplicity, which just translates into more fun. And isn't that why we're going camping? To have an easy, fun time. Now also the Jsmart lighting package. Let's say you're going down the road, you want to turn right. You flip on your right-hand turn signal. All of the lights down the side of the trailer are going to blink along with that turn signal. It gives everybody else on the road a better idea of what you're doing. Not to mention the fact that when you shift into reverse, this also has reverse lighting. So if you're backing up, either your spotter or if you choose to add a backup camera, you can see what you're actually doing. So what do you think, guys? Jayco get this one right? Because, man, it feels right to me. Like I said, walking through it, it's got such a thick, beefy, kind of heavy-duty feel to me that you don't always get in this class at this weight, at those dollars. But that's the thing with Jayco. They're rarely the least expensive and they're rarely the lightest weight because they almost always have one of the bulkier structures available out there. I think it's a hit. I'd love some feedback from you folks. Leave me some comments and let me know what you like, what you dislike, what you change given the opportunity, and how you think it compares to some other things out there. Like, would you go with this one or would you go with something else that's similar to it, and why? Along the way, if you appreciate the information, hit the little subscribe button here, and remember, we don't do hidden dealer fees at Haylett RV. We just give you a lot of information and we make stuff simple, easy, and fun because that's what camping's supposed to be. So if that sounds good, when you're ready, You give our family-owned and operated facility here a call. Been here since 1989, and God willing, we're just going to keep on trucking. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Hail It camping, everyone. Appreciate it very much.